All right, we're doing something a little different this week.
Yeah, we are.
We've been invited to the lovely home of the camera phone cop.
Yes.
Now he looks like he's sorry he's ever done this.
Not at all, guys. Welcome, welcome.
Man, now if you remember the camera phone cop, he was the one that came on. When was that? Was that before the summer or right after summer? Or
It was, I think it was around the end of the summer, back when co-host came in to start helping out with a couple of cold ones every once in a while.
Helping out, yes.
Yeah,
Helping
the hired help.
out. Yes. That's what I do here is I help. And I
You are the hired help.
do it, yes.
He works cheap,
Yeah,
for nothing. But
They pick me up over at the Home Depot.
Motor oil.
Yes.
so at the time when you came on, everybody liked you, man. Everybody said, "Hey, this guy's cool." You came on, you talked about what you do, and let me tell you
And there's
why.
clearly no accounting for taste.
No, not at all.
No.
But you gave us a free meal
I almost
tonight.
didn't like you because I heard you're
In fact,
cop.
you
Dirty
called him
cop.
a pig and everything. What's
Phone
up, pig?
Yeah.
Cell phone pig. I remember that. You'll notice that co-host hadn't been allowed into any screenings lately.
That's right, because I don't want to go.
Well, he looks like a camera himself. So a lot of these screenings, camera phone cop does security at the screenings that the critics go to, which includes us. And so the reason why you were on the show is because you wanted to talk about piracy. You want to talk about what's it like watching movies over and over again, which is what you do.
Right.
And you just related to movies because, well, I guess unintentionally, well, you like movies anyway.
Right. Always have.
Yeah, but now you get to see movies like several times a week.
And I bet you hate him now, huh?
I've definitely grown to hate certain movies. Yes.
So I said, man, you're always saying, well, I'm going to come back on. I was like, man, you're more than welcome to come back on anytime you want to. So he's like, how about this weekend? I was like, I don't know about that. I'll give you some food. And I was like, okay, we'll be there.
Is that
Give
how
some
this
dinner.
happened?
Yeah, that's how he
Oh
gave me
my
a bowl
God.
of
Were you
spaghetti.
begging? Don't beg.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't begging. No, what happened was I said, man, yeah, let's go ahead and record this weekend if you like. And you said, you know what? If you guys come out to my place, I'll fix dinner for you. Now, he doesn't eat anything, but
For the record, there is no homosexual undertones to that. I'm married. We're here with my wife and daughter as well.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was cooking for them, so I fed Corey and co-host just as well.
I know.
Well,
and
they plugged me into the wall.
And I
That's
got
about
here
it.
and I was like, what, you mean you don't like me? You mean you're not sexually attracted to me?
No, I'm really not in the least.
You mean
That's
you're
when I
fixing
felt
dinner for me?
uncomfortable and I wanted to go back to the car. Just plug me in the cigarette lighter and leave me there. You do your own show, Corey. You call it me and cell phone guy hanging out kissing.
A love story.
Me and latently homosexual cell phone guy. But no, it's funny because his daughter's walking by right now. His daughter's like, how old are you?
Yes.
How old are you?
She ain't gonna talk. She's too damn shy.
Nine. Shh, I told you to be quiet. We're recording. Every time she's been walking to the room, I'm like, shh. We weren't even recording anything.
And it keeps getting funnier and funnier.
Yeah, oh, shut up, man. And his wife is standing at the door right
There's a
there.
rule in comedy, Corey. You do things 3 times, then you let it go.
I know.
I can't let it go.
Suffering here.
It's funny because your wife is looking.
It's amazing. We must get new fans to the site all the time because the other ones hear the same old Corey jokes and they have to get tired of it.
I know.
That's why I'm here.
I get tired of them. Look at the ass on that girl. It's funny because your wife just opened the door and she's like, when are they leaving my house? It's a guy and a talking ball. When are they leaving my house?
I don't blame her.
Well, actually, it's funny you would mention that because ever since I came on the last time, she listened to it and she's like, when are you doing it again? When are you doing it again?
Really?
When are you doing it again? Yeah.
And now that we're here, she's like, when are they doing it again? Not in my house.
Not in my house.
Yes, exactly. That wasn't part of the deal.
You brought us in, man. I had a lovely meal. It was great. I was starving too. And it was free. So I love that. He made, you cooked it now. You made spaghetti and garlic bread and green bean casserole.
Right.
Which means you are the bitch in this situation. So in this marriage.
If I depended on my wife to cook, I'd be skinnier than you, Corey.
Yeah.
God love her, but cooking was never one of her strong points.
You're not getting any tonight. Oh,
She's
my
standing
God.
right behind me. I looked over. She's like,
I think she's going to send you home with us. Yes.
I was going to ask for a plate before I left too. I guess I'm not getting anything. It was funny because after I got through eating, I went straight for the kids' Halloween candy. Who candy is this? Can I have some?
Hey, please eat it. God, I have a 9-year-old. Do you think she needs much more of that crap? Come
Good.
on.
I'm taking a whole Tupperware box.
Yes.
No, you know how this show works. I mean, last time you came on, we did it as a cold one's bonus.
Right.
But now the way this works is that co-host and I, we have our own thing. We decide to make this more about the fans of the site, the members.
Right.
We love to read their email. Yeah, the peoples on the site.
You're the people.
Yeah, that's right. So now, before we go into that, I guess the difference between this and the other podcasts is that we probably read more email than the other people. But before we go into email, we like to kind of bullshit around, talk about nonsense,
Right.
or what's going on, shoot the shit. And this week, a lot of that bullshit is going to involve you.
Yeah.
And you are full of a lot of bullshit, so I'm sure you can share.
So make it good.
Matter of fact, we can start right off the bat with my public service announcement.
Okay. All right. Well, before you do that, we like to make our battle cry into the show before we start. So co-host, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you know what we do when we do this?
I'm sorry. I must be
He's like-
behind.
He's like looking at me like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
Your show.
He looked like we were about to like set his house on fire.
Like, what are you gonna do? We're gonna set everything aflame.
Yeah, we like to co-host every time. The reason why we call this show "Let's Do This" because co-hosts would say that all the time. Like, I'm ready. Let's do this.
He did that with the bonus. I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
right.
So now we just made
Sorry.
the official battle cry of the show. So
Yes.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Co-host, are you ready?
You know I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. Damn, that's pretty good, man. Camera phone cop right in there. Look at him.
There you go.
You got a knack for this, kid.
You're a natural. A natural.
Hey, I'm always looking for other sources of income, Corey. Just keep me in mind, brother.
Oh, great. Another
Exactly. I disassembled his asshole over here.
I told you not to invite him.
Another leech on the spill.com tea.
Yes.
Exactly.
Taking my money.
So, do you want to make this public service announcement?
Yeah, actually, I do. If you're walking out of a theater and you see a shirt or a sweatshirt or an article of clothing sitting on a chair, it's not there for you to take, asshole.
Damn.
Co-host, let me tell you what happened. You want to tell them what happened?
Yeah, I'll tell
I
him.
don't get this service announcement.
So I ended up getting. I did a movie screening this weekend. Corey was
Okay.
there. It was Madagascar 2.
Okay.
All right, and I ended up getting some tickets so I could get my wife and daughter in.
Right.
So they show up at the screening. They sit through it. They have a good time. They enjoy the movie. And my daughter, she's 9. She tends to live in her own world.
Yep.
And she gets up after the movie's over, walks out of the theater, says, "Oh crap! I forgot my sweatshirt." Walks back into the theater, and somebody has already ganked it.
Somebody stole her
Somebody
sweatshirt?
stole my daughter's sweatshirt.
Was it just a regular
Here's
sweatshirt
the
or was
best
it?
part.
It was made out of gold.
Yes, no, it was a burnt
can't
orange
blame 'em.
sweatshirt, and
It was a what? I'm
It
sorry?
was burnt orange.
Okay.
but it was
The colors of the Longhorns are
Right.
football here at University of Texas.
correct. It's burnt orange, so there's a lot of Texas fans. Big Texas game going on that night. So I'm thinking somebody grabbed it. However, the thing that really pisses me off is they're going to get home and find out that it has my daughter's softball team name on it
Ah,
and her number on the back.
what a dummy.
So now, not only can I not ever wear it, but they're going to throw it away.
Man, come on. You know they're not going to throw it away. People, let me tell you something about these folks that come to these screenings. They will kill each other over a koozie. They will
Yeah.
fight each other over a
Oh,
plastic
my
cup.
God.
Yeah, they
They're going to take that as, I found a prize. And they don't care what kind
one
of
of the other reps almost got mobbed because he brought some kid-size only T-shirts, and the parents came down trying to whoop his ass to get one.
Are you serious?
Yeah. See, people at the screenings, they are press screenings. Sometimes just the press goes. And then other times they invite the press and the public. And at the public screening, sometimes you'll have the radio station or a TV station come up and they say, "Hey, we got T-shirts and frisbees or whatever to give away." And people just want to get this like they're winning the lottery. They will kill each other over nothing.
And that is why I will always hate press screenings. I hate them with a passion.
Well, and that's, I mean, they made that movie Prize Horse. And I think they made it.
Yeah, we talked about that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on
and
DVD,
it's a whole class of people. They're subhuman. I mean, subhuman.
It's funny because we know, I think, everyone in that DVD.
We know people who will drive 15 minutes across town to get a free hot dog at
get
a
a
used
free
car
hot
lot.
dog.
Yeah,
What
one
the
hot
hell?
dog.
I thought I was
they
terrible.
got used
Yeah.
the car at the used car lot. They got hot dogs. I got one myself. I was like, "What? Did you buy a car? No, but I got a hot dog."
And boy, are they proud. I mean, you talk about pride and getting a free hot dog.
Now his wife is there. Let me tell you something about your husband. When he walked out of the theater and he knew that T-shirt was missing or that sweatshirt was missing, I felt scared because it could have been a 9-year-old kid who had that. He was going to beat that kid's ass.
What
That's
I
my
am
shirt,
really
you
hoping
little
for,
son of a bitch.
What I am really hoping right now is that the people we have, and we have some real idiots that come to these screenings. I'm hoping it's one of my real big loser attendees, and the idiot puts it on. Because you got to understand, I have a 9-year-old, but she's the size of a woman. I mean, she's a big kid. So somebody's going to put this thing on and show up at a screening this winter, and that's what I'm hoping to see. I want to see
for
him
a
in
beat
line.
down, huh?
No. All I'm going to do is get on my cell phone and call the police.
Oh.
I'm going to get them arrested over a $35 sweatshirt.
And you know what's going to happen, though?
Police aren't going to come.
Sean's going to be the one. Should I not say your name?
I guess that's fine.
Okay, Sean. 'Cause I like Sean. I feel I don't want to keep calling you the camera phone cop because I feel like I'm. But Sean's gonna be out in the parking lot. He's gonna get the police calling him because he's gonna be welling on some 10-year-old kid. Get off my boy!
No,
shirt.
I'll find a parent that's with him. And
Now, see
beat
when
the parent's ass.
you said that you weren't going to do anything, I thought you were going to tell me like you're going to have like a syringe with a Windex in there, and you're going to like inject it. And then it's going to be real quiet. You're going to stick him under a seat.
You know what's gonna happen though? Like one of the guys that he hates, he's gonna come in there. He's gonna be like, "Hey, Sean, look at what I won at the last screen."
Yeah.
Who are you? Sean's gonna pick his ass up and throw his ass across the
You get
theater.
one of these free promo sweaters. It wasn't for the right movie, but damn, does it look good?
It's gonna be some big guy, like it's his daughter's sweatshirt. This guy's gonna be wearing. It's gonna like come up to his elbows.
Look like
the
Baby
sleeves.
Huey.
Yeah, it's gonna be all tight fitting on him and everything. Oh, look! I won this baby tea.
But the win-win here is that if I do catch somebody in it, I'm finally going to get to do something I've always wanted to do, and that's perma-ban somebody. They'll never be able to go to another free screening. I don't care how long they waited for their damn ticket.
See, you didn't know that Sean has the power to ban people from screenings as long as you're there, right?
I do, and as long as the reps agree and all of them seem to get along with me, and I tell them what happened, they'll be like, "Yeah, he doesn't need to come back."
So how does that work? Do you memorize the face? Do you write down their name? I mean, do you sneak up behind him with a Polaroid and you shoot? You get his mugshot.
The only people that it really concerns are our regulars. And Corey could even identify him by face. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could sit there. He knows, when I say ponytail, he knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Corey's only been doing this for 50 years. The same people were like in their 90s.
It's like
going to free screenings.
Like what Sean's not telling you that he hates me too. It's like if I went in the room, he'd be like, that big tall black son of a bitch.
Well, I
hate
just had
him.
you come to the house today because I live in Williamson County. I'm like, I could shoot him. And then call Williamson County. There's a black man in my house. I mean, Williamson County be like, we'll have the coroner sent right over.
I'll be here right next to him going, "Yep, that's true, officer. That's true." It's like I'll be taking care of Spill
Co-host.
tomorrow.
What? Hey.
So long, Spill. Hello,
It's so
nudie.
funny, man.
Hello, nudie website.
I'm gonna do a porn. It's like what I've always wanted to do with this site.
Exactly.
Man, it's so bad. His daughter's walking to the house. And he's talking about
spillingoutofthebra.com.
He's like saying, "Yeah, my daughter's not gonna make any noise. She's scared that there's a black man in the house." I'm like, "Come on, man. His daughter's 9 years old.
Hey, I saw the look on his daughter's face.
His daughter's
the
hiding
look of fear.
She's hiding under the bed right now. You know, how you come to the house like the cat will run and hide under the furniture. That's what his daughter's doing.
She said they are real.
I live in suburban Austin. I've never seen one before.
Are you related to Will Smith?
I thought black people. I thought Will Smith was CG. No, but
that's not makeup.
I tried to say hi to her. No! I heard if you touch me, I turn black too.
Damn, that's wrong, Corey. That's racist.
That was racist.
That's racist.
That was racist.
Oh, I'm the racist one now.
People, I can't believe that.
Well, I'm not really black, right? I'm Coco.
Are you Chinese?
All right, so man, now you haven't seen all these movies. It's fall seasons now.
Right.
And you have to see you've had to see a lot of summer movies over and over again. I know you're getting tired of some of them. Has fall been any better?
Honestly, at this point, I'd say I feel the same way about the fall as I did the summer. There's stuff out there that I enjoyed a lot, stuff out there that was all right, and then there was stuff out there that sucked. I mean, we have probably done 6 or 10 movies in the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Sound like you're breaking down right now. We've done 6 movies. I can't take it anymore.
And I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, how many have I done? And how many? I've got friends. I got lucky. We've done role models like 11 billion times, and I only had to do it once. We had guards to work all the rest because it was only 1 or 2 guards at a time.
Yeah.
So I only had to do that one once, and I had a good time once.
I wonder why so many screenings for that film.
Yeah, why is that? Now, what's the reasoning behind certain movies? Like, for example, they had tons of screenings for Sex Drive. Didn't they have like about 3 or 4 of those?
I think they had several of those, and you know what? I never did one.
But see, now they show that movie about 6 times, and the movie comes in like at 8th place or something like that. What's the deal with that, man?
I'd actually ask you that question because I figure you'd know more about that than I would. I've always been curious, what makes them pick what films to go out. I mean, you remember Knocked Up? We did that one like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. I only can think that there's certain movies that they feel like have certain appeal. Like Sex Drive. I think they felt like, all right, Superbad, that movie did well. We're going to cash in on that audience if we push it enough. Seth Green is really popular with Robot Chicken right now. And so I think that they hope to appeal to a certain audience by having a lot of press screenings. And even they had a sneak for the public on a Saturday. But I think that movie probably came in, I believe it was 8th or 9th place or something. It came in low. Only because they didn't have any of the stars in that movie.
No, I was about to say, no stars. And maybe it just resembled Superbad too much, where it turned people off. They're like, it's probably just a bad knockoff of Superbad. But
no stars in it.
That's the only way. But unfortunately, it was a good movie, and it kind of sucked seeing how low it ranked, just because it was a funny as hell film.
I was loving it, man. And I look at Knocked Up. Well, Knocked Up was riding off the success from the producers and director of 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Right.
They had some other famous people in there that you could recognize. Paul Rudd was from that movie. Seth Rogen was was it Seth Rogen?
Yeah, Seth
Rogen was riding off of 40-Year-Old Virgin too, also. So it's really mysterious to me how many of these movies that they have to actually screen, and some of them do well, some of them don't.
Well, I always joked for that movie, and then like Tenacious D, and then
the Pick of Destiny.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall was another one we did a bunch. It's like, this movie's not going to make any money in this market because everybody's seen it for free before it ever came out.
That's true. I'm always wondering if that ever backfires as far as you just have one too many screenings, and by the time the movie comes out, a lot of people don't care. They'd seen it so ahead advanced. They had such an advanced screening of it that they forget about it. And they assume it. Well, I already saw it, so when it comes out, they don't bother telling their friends because to them it seems like it came out like weeks ago, but it really hadn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think the coolest thing that I ever got to see, and it was cool because I really enjoyed the movie, and it was also cool because I actually did it like 9 months before it came out. And usually, most
9 months.
Yeah,
what the hell?
Yeah, usually you're seeing these within 2 months of when they're supposed to release. They'll do one a week for 5-6 weeks if they're going to do it a lot, but it's all within a couple of months. But I actually got to see V for Vendetta not like 9 months before it ever came out.
Wow.
Damn.
And was the movie still, was there anything that you noticed they took out or added?
I didn't notice any difference. It was a I guess a button-umathon thing where they'd gotten to show it.
That explains why that was that. Then
why it was so early. Yeah, we did King Kong that year and V for Vendetta.
Okay,
and then it came out like the following year, like 8 or 9 months later.
Damn, he tried to make it sound like, they invited me personally to Hollywood and I got to see it 9 months earlier.
Oh yeah,
I was sitting with the director smoking a cigar.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, shut up.
Spielberg's in my cell phone.
Come guard my movie.
That's right. No, I got to do that's why. I mean, when you have a festival like that, or like you had here in Austin with Fantastic Fest, you show a whole buttload of films over the course of a week or whatever, a day, whatever it is. But the people who organize it like to get with the studios and get something cool put in there, something that hadn't been released yet.
Right.
And so for Button-Umathon, they had those 2 films, and it was pretty slick. I'm sitting there thinking about it, talking about it, and people are like, I hadn't even heard about this, because it wasn't really advertised all that much.
Right.
By the time, that early out, they weren't even talking about it much.
See, that's kind of the advantage of your job right now. Not only do you go see movies early, but then you go to festivals and you have to be there for that, and you're attending and you're getting paid for it. While all these people paid a lot of money to go.
Right.
Yeah. So
don't always get to watch all of the movie. That's the drawback.
Well, what do you do? What, you kicking somebody out because
running somebody
out
out?
Work. You're working.
Yeah.
Roughhousing somebody.
That sucks, is that I can't look at the studio rep and go, no, I can't do that right now. I'm watching the film.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone up behind somebody and put the sleeper hold on them and just dragged them out quietly?
No, but I tell you,
the old lady making too much noise where they're with their breathing apparatus.
Well, people are getting so stupid. I mean, I have to get so explicit in my instructions now. It's like, turn your phones off. You, me, even the co-host who's a little prick.
That's right.
We know
that's your friend.
It's turn it off. And, power off. Everybody else like vibrate, silent. They'll sit there and text the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like, your phone's not fucking off. I had one lady playing a game on her BlackBerry in Madagascar this weekend, and I'm like, you need to turn your phone off. She's like, it is off, and she's trying to point to like, there's no wireless signal. I said, ma'am, you're sitting there playing a game on it. It ain't off.
Yeah,
the camera works without having wireless.
But this movie sucks.
So leave then.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
If you're so bored, you're going to sit there and text back and forth.
Leave.
Go, because it's going to distract somebody else.
See, I always pictured you as Rambo away. Like, there's some guy he's big and he's going to start a commotion if you tell him to be quiet. So you got to come up behind him and like knock him out or put him to sleep and just kind of quietly just pull him over the chair and drag his ass
Blow
out.
gun.
Yeah. Are you like, do you have like a suit that looks like the fabric on the chairs at the theater where you're sitting down and messing up? They said you come out, your eyes open, that's all you see.
You grab he's camouflaged. He's looking like the seat.
Break their neck.
Somebody sits on him.
But the guy next to him, this guy fell asleep.
I went to the store and got a blowgun. I can just get them with a hypodermic from 20 yards away.
Yeah, the guy falls asleep. Yeah,
and they're out. I'll go give them the antidote when the movie's over.
Do you ever have to tell parents with noisy kids to shut their kids up?
That's a real interesting. I have not yet. Usually the studio rep handles that.
The studio rep does?
Yeah, but usually what happens. I mean, the fact of the matter is, and most studio reps respect this, but we're not there for their convenience. We're there to protect the film. You know, it's just like I told the theater manager. We're not there to check for somebody bringing in a Coke in their bag. We're there to protect the film.
Okay, so that's why you never say anything about kids making noise or anything. You're not meant to do that.
No. No. Now, if the rep, there are a few reps that really hate confrontation, and they know I'm security, so they're like, can you do this? Okay. We had a real was it Madagascar, I think? Was it this one we just did where we had the woman with her disabled sister?
I was just about to ask you about that, and it wasn't that. It was a nighttime screening. Remember?
What was it?
I forgot what it was. Oh, Changeling.
Yes.
We were watching Changeling.
Yes,
and
it was Changeling.
Co-host, I don't know if you knew this.
No.
We were watching Changeling, and while we're watching it, you hear this and you wonder what the hell is going on. Now, I thought it was part of the movie. But when the scene changed, you still heard, and what it was a woman, and she had a disabled, like a mentally disabled and physically disabled son or something in a wheelchair.
Daughter, I think. Maybe.
Was it? Oh, it was a woman. It was a girl.
Yeah, in a wheelchair, very heavily disabled, and just couldn't be quiet.
Oh man, see, I don't get that. Why would you bring someone like that?
To be fair, I
to a
think
film?
what happened. I think what happened is that with people with that type of disability,
Right.
they have good days and bad.
Right.
And so she came thinking, I'm hoping this is a good day.
She was having a bad day.
But she was having a bad day.
Oh, see, you're gambling with other people's time.
And see here, the funny part to me is like Carlisle's climbing over chairs and stuff to go find the studio rep. He's hot.
Oh yeah, I saw that silhouette come
he
up,
gets
that
up,
hat,
he's like,
and that glasses.
He's
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
he was not happy. But before he ever could get there, this lady, and I give her, it took, even talking to Leon, he said it took a little too long in his opinion too, but she actually got up and took her daughter or sister or whatever it was and left before anybody ever had to say something.
Damn.
But those are the ones that are hard.
Right.
Because if you can't control your kids, then you're an asshole and you got to go.
Right.
But when you have somebody that is that developmentally disabled, there's just no cool way to approach them and say, you got to go.
I know, and that's the thing. Like, I feel sorry for those people. Don't get me wrong, but it's like bringing your kid in with Tourette's. You're just hoping. I hope he behaves.
Fuck!
Yeah, exactly.
But
he needs to be entertained just like everyone. I want him to feel normal.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm sorry. Your kid is not normal.
But see,
I'm sorry.
That's the
Get
thing.
that idea out of your
shit,
head.
ass.
Yeah.
That's what DVD is for, people. Learn before somebody like like me has to go and beat you over the head and go, you moron! You are a lot dumber than the person you brought
now
in.
you say that, but if you'd been in the theater when that was going on, nobody wanted to be the asshole that said,
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Except for Carlisle.
Except for
He was
Carlisle.
ready to do it.
See, but that's what I'm
But
saying.
you know something?
No, I leave him alone.
People would have been on his side. People would have been like,
Yeah.
he's the guy that he did the job we
He
didn't want to
stood
do.
up.
Yeah.
He did the job nobody else wanted to do.
Yeah,
'cause
but
nobody
she
wanted to be the
didn't see it.
asshole.
You know, he was getting up to go. He was either going to come to me or he's going to go to the film rep. And he has every right.
Right.
Because, like I talked about the last time I was on the show, you know, these screenings are not for the public. They'll let the public in, but the screenings are there for the press.
Right.
The people who are going to review the movies and try and get the word out. I mean, you gotta remember, you know, a website like Spill for these studios is thousands and thousands of dollars worth of free advertising.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
the reviers like the film, because people are
Even if
gonna
we
watch
don't
it.
like the movie, it's still
It's still free advertising.
Tell that to Tyler Perry.
that son of a bitch. Yeah, you got Tyler Perry's number. Have you talked to him?
I haven't
Aren't you-
lately. You know,
okay.
he kind of pissed me off. So.
Tell him to let the press in, especially the black press, like me.
The only black press,
Yeah,
Corey.
Yeah, tell let a brother in.
Well, the problem is there are no black press.
I'm the only one, so let me in.
So they don't know. He's like, no, you're black. You're
Let
full
them
of
know,
shit.
yeah. Tell
You're
them
trying to scam me somehow, Corey.
Throw a
You know, I
brother
kinda feel-
a bone.
I kind of
And you
feel
need
bad.
makeup. You know, why you want makeup?
Damn.
But it was so funny, man, because once that movie came on, because we couldn't hear that girl before, but once that movie came on, what she saw in her mind freaked her the fuck out. On both screens, she's like,
God.
nobody wanted to be the asshole to say, you got to take the retarded person.
I would call the
Nobody wanted to
cops
do
like,
that.
hey, one of Jerry's kids escaped. Get him, quick, get him.
Now,
He's
see,
freaking out.
but she was cool because you could tell because there was a moment she was quiet and you could see the woman kind of rubbing her back and she was kind of
Giving her
soothing her
something to
down.
drink.
Yeah.
You know, like,
But,
okay,
yeah.
please, I want to see this movie.
Yeah. And then it
See,
started
that's
up
her
again.
being selfish, though.
But
Come
no,
on.
she tried. It got quiet for a while. And everybody wants to think like, okay, this person, even though they might be mentally disabled, maybe they can comprehend more than a little kid can what's going on. Apparently not, because that was a horror movie she was watching.
Okay, well now I'm not blaming her. I'm blaming the person who brought her. As far as like, you know, somebody, I'm sure she went because more than likely she wanted to see the film. I don't think somebody with that kind of in that mental state really gives a shit. To be honest,
I just wanted her to get her out before she started shitting in her pants or something.
Oh,
You
my
know?
God.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Because who's going to clean
I was
that? Not
wondering
me.
who's going to go there first.
Sean's
Corey
gonna-
or Cole.
You
Sean's
know,
gonna
come
clean
on, man,
that.
because you know that because that shit was scary. Because first of all, it ain't an easy movie. Once Angelina Jolie started getting words, that's when she was in her seat. The kid who was missing that movie might as well have been this mentally disabled person's kid because you're like, no.
And you know, Corey was
That's the
sitting right
interesting
behind
thing.
her.
Well, yeah,
Is
I'm
the
laughing. I was
interesting
kicking her
thing,
seat.
Is like co-host said, you know, you wonder can somebody this developmentally disabled, you know, grasp this film, but the noises got worse at high drama points.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like it was almost like it was processing, but she couldn't vocalize it.
So she
Yeah.
sounded like Cyrus when he sees
when
he
he's
sees one of
geeking
those-
out over
one of those
something.
damn geeky movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he's watching like Star Trek or something.
Exactly.
We had to take Cyrus out.
Serenity,
Yeah.
Serenity.
Yeah, we had to take Cyrus out of Serenity.
God. Now I feel bad for Carlisle because maybe he just had to go take a piss. You know?
No, you know what? Carlisle had told him to take him out. In all fairness, he would have been cool. He would have got up and said, "Hey, ma'am, you know we're trying to watch the movie," or he would have went to go talk to the rep.
Yeah, I was gonna say he wouldn't have said anything to the person. Nobody in there would have. They would have gone to the rep, or they would actually. What would happen is if it was pressed, they would go to the rep because they know who the rep is. Anybody else in that theater was going to walk straight to me.
Yeah, exactly. I would have done that. That's what I would have done. I was like, Sean, man, hey, take care of these people.
Like, Sean, you got Jerry's kids in there ruining
why?
the movie.
Because why? Because I'm there in a coat and tie.
Exactly.
I must work for the theater.
Yeah,
You see that person in the wheelchair? Go beat him up.
Sean would have taken him and like rolled her ass down the slope,
I know.
let her run into the wall.
I grab the popcorn, throw it in their face, grab their Coke, pour it on their head.
Sean would have took her out in the parking lot, just put her in the bushes and came back.
Exactly.
Oh, ma'am, she's okay.
Would have got a cable attached to the city bus. Oh no! Hey, enjoy that film. Yeah, somebody filmed this. This is a movie.
Did you see
Yeah.
the metro bus going the street with a girl in a wheelchair behind it?
Oh, that shit happened.
Don't say that. Are you? I was just making that
it
up.
was in the last year. Some dude in a wheelchair, or maybe this was a show. It could have been a TV show, but I thought I read this. Like somebody, like somebody got clipped to the front of a Mack truck in their wheelchair, and they survived. They were fine because somebody flagged the driver down. Yeah, I swear to God, I read this.
Okay,
It could have
right.
been a TV show.
It's funny now.
Yeah.
As long as they didn't die.
No,
Whoever
I was like trying not to laugh. I'm like, I don't like where the story's going.
Can you imagine whoever was hooked to that bus? Oh shit!
Oh my God! I'd find a way to do that for a living and wear a white helmet, like the retarded evil
Super
Knievel.
co-host Osborne.
Evil Knievel. Yes, there you go. Oh my God!
Jumping ramps and shit.
That's a great idea.
Oh yes.